it is, and punctuation like you would have done on the quiz yesterday. So let's look, first of all, let's talk about what kind of sentence it is. So the first sentence says, I wonder, Mom, if Jackson is home. I wonder, Mom, if Jackson is home. Now, this one is one that could trick some of you up. Adam, what kind of sentence do you think it is?
Declarative?
Declarative, very good. Do you remember the other day when we had a sentence like this and some of you thought it was a interrogative sentence? But just because of the words I wonder? Because you thought they were asking? No, they're not asking. Is Jackson home? That's interrogative. But then when you say, I wonder if Jackson is home, that's just declarative, guys. Alright, so how are we gonna punctuate it? Jonathan?
With the period.
With a period, so you would insert a period. But we're not done with that sentence. We're gonna do something else to it today. We're gonna remember our comma rules. So, what do we need to do now? Olivia?
Put a comma before and after mom.
Put a comma before and after mom. Now, this is where I need some of you to be looking. Because for some reason, some of you thought that when we put a comma before and after mom, that you put this comma going this way and this comma going that way. That means you weren't paying attention, because I never did that. Commas always go the same direction. They always go like that. Always. Okay? So, you put a comma in front and it points that way, and you insert it, and you put a comma here and you insert it. And it needs to look like a comma. Some of you can't tell the difference between your commas and your periods. I need to be able to tell the difference. If I'm grading your paper and you do an insert and you have something above it, and I can't tell if it's a comma or a period, what am I gonna have to do?
Mark it wrong.
I'm gonna have to mark it wrong. I'm gonna have to go by what it looks like. Okay, so your period should look a period, and your comma should look a comma. This is the other thing. Just a minute. The other thing was the other day when I told you that when the person you're talking to is in the middle of the sentence, you put the comma before and after. Some of you did not. Some of you just put it after still, even though I told you that you put it before and after. Please sit up and pay attention. The other thing was, the other day we had a Mrs. So-and-so, and I told you that the one comma went in front of the word Mrs. Some of you still, I think her name was Mrs. Perry. Some of you still put a comma after Perry and a comma in front of Perry. Is her name Perry? No, her name is Mrs. Perry. So the comma should have gone after Perry and in front of Mrs. And I told you guys that, and some of you still did it wrong in your papers. Alright, so let's look at the next one. Would you like to call him, Carter? Alright, we have more to do on this one than just telling what kind of sentence it is and putting in commas. Paige, tell me one thing to do to this sentence. Go ahead. It's interrogative, right? That's what you were saying. I don't know why you stopped. Interrogative, you're right, it is an interrogative sentence. Alright, so we're gonna punctuate it. How? Eric, if it's an interrogative sentence, how are we gonna punctuate it?
With
Would you like to call him,
Question.
Carter? Yes, it is a question. So insert a question mark. Alright, what else is wrong with this sentence?
you have to put a comma before Carter.
Yes, you are talking to Carter, so you're gonna insert a comma before Carter. Do we need a comma after Carter?
No.
No, because it's at the end of the sentence. Alright? But there is one more thing wrong with this sentence. You already have answered. You already have answered. Tess.
Capitalize the W word.
Yes, the beginning of the sentence was not capitalized as it should have been, so we need to put 3 little lines underneath that. Okay? Alright, let's go to the next one. It says, yes, I sure would. Alright? The other Olivia.
You need to put a comma after yes.
Alright, we're going to do that. We haven't learned what kind of sentence it is yet, but let's put a comma after yes, because we learned comma after yes or no at the beginning of the sentence. Alright, what else do I need to do? Lily. You can tell me anything. Yes, I sure would. Say it again?
Capitalize the Y in yes.
Yes, again, this one was not capitalized either, so that needs to be capitalized as the beginning of the sentence. Grace. don't you tell me what kind of sentence it is? Alright, it could be, but let's say that your mom said that you could call your friend, and then your mom says, or mom says, would you like to call him? Or call your friend, okay? Alright, so let's say, you said to mom, I wonder if Maya is home. And then mom said, would you like to call her? And you're gonna say, yes, I sure would. Is that how you're gonna say it? Are you just gonna say it? Like tell her, yes, I sure would. Yeah? That's all you're gonna do?
No.
How are you gonna say it?
Yeah, I would like to call her.
I know, but what kind of sentence would be the way you responded when mom suggested you call your friend? What kind of sentence is that gonna be? You're not just gonna say, yes, I sure would. Are you? You're gonna go, you gotta use these words, you can't change the words. How would you say it?
Yes,
What?
like exclamatory.
Thank you, exclamatory, that's what I was trying to get you to say. It is exclamatory, you're getting excited, oh yeah, mom just said I should call my friend. Yes, I sure would, so how are we gonna punctuate it, Micah?
With exclamation.
Very good, exclamation point. Alright, alright, very good. See how I fixed that? That's what you guys should do. I didn't like the way that looked, so I fixed it and made it neater. You guys need to learn to do that. Last sentence, everyone. Look up here. Carter, tell him he can come over to play. Carter, tell him he can come over to play. Somebody who hasn't answered yet. Some of you have your hand up. Ben.
You have to capitalize the same color.
Alright, so Carter needs to be capitalized because it's the beginning of your sentence. There's another reason for it being capitalized, but we haven't learned it yet. Landon.
Put a comma after Carter.
This time you're putting a comma after Carter because you're talking to Carter still. When you're talking to somebody, you put a comma. Alright?
Imperative.
It is imperative because mom said, she commanded him, tell him he can come over to play. So that's a command, right? It's the kind of command you like, but it's still a command, right? Alright, and so since it is imperative, we need one more thing, we need a punctuation. We haven't done it yet. Owen,
Capital. Make it a period.
make it a period, very good. You've already done the capitalization of it. So make it be a period, very good. Alright. Now, I'm gonna call out some sentences, and while I call out the sentences, I want you to tell me what kind of punctuation it'll be and what kind of sense it is. Do you hear those crickets, Andrew? Adam?
Interrogative.
Interrogatives. How would I punctuate it, Jonathan?
With the question mark.
I know that crickets make their chirping noise by rubbing their wings together. What kind is that, Olivia?
Declarative.
Declarative. How would you punctuate it, Tess?
With a period.
With a period. Did you know that only male crickets chirp? Did you know that only male crickets chirp? Owen? Interrogative. And how are we gonna punctuate it, Lily? With a question mark. I can't believe how loud they are tonight. Zeke?
Unexplainable.
Very good. And I can't believe, some of you missed that on the quiz. I can't believe is usually exclamatory, right? And how would you punctuate it? Exclamation mark. Please be quiet so we can enjoy their chirping night song. Whoops. Olivia?
Imperative.
Imperative, and how would you punctuate that one? Paige?
With period.
With a what?
Period.
Very good, with a period. Alright, now we're gonna learn some new rules today. Alright, we're gonna learn about making words singular or plural. Now we learned yesterday singular meant one, and plural means
More
than
than
one. And today we're gonna learn that most of the time to make word plural, you just add S, and I mentioned that yesterday. But today we're gonna learn a new rule, and it's words ending in CH SH, SX or Z, add ES. All right, so let's say it again. CH, SH, SX or Z, add ES. All right, the word apple. What would I do? Just say it.
Singular.
Now, I'm not asking a singular plural. I'm asking how would you make it plural? What would I do to make it plural? Sorry for
S.
misunderstanding. Yes, just add S. What about the word snail? Just add S. What about the word pie? Just add S. What about the word church? Yes, because we just said CH, SH, SX, or Z, add ES. What about the word mess? Yes, good. Box. Very good. Let's look at your paper, and we're going to talk about that. All right. Identify each word by writing sing, S-I-N-G, for singular, or P-L for plural. Foxes. Plural. So write P-L. That's all you have to write. They make you write more for singular, but P-L is all you have to write for plural. Wagon. Singular. So just write sing. Desks. Plural. Plural, PL plural. Dress. Singular, very good. It would have to be dresses to be plural. So don't get tricked by the S. Leg. Singular. Flashes. Plural. That ES should be the hint that that one is plural. Taxes. Plural again. Finger. Singular. Trees. Plural. And glass. Singular. Don't get tricked by the S. What would the plural of glass be? Glasses. Okay? All right, now in the next section, we're going to write the plural form of the word. And you need to remember that if it ends in CH, SH, SX, or Z, we're going to add ES. So the first word is church, so you need to write churches and add an ES. No, you cannot just add an ES, guys. You have to write the word church and add an ES after it. You're not just putting ES. You have to write the word church and the ES. Does everybody understand that? Okay. Axe. Axes. Don't say ES, say axes. Please, adding ES. Why are you playing with your pencil and getting behind again? Please stop playing with your pencil. Yes, you.
No, I was just trying to erase it because this one doesn't have an erase.
No, you were throwing it and making it roll. I heard you.
I was trying to squish it, but
Please stop. That is why you're behind. All right, address. Addresses. Addresses. C-H-S-H-S. This ends in an S. So write address and then add an ES. So it's addresses. Watch.
watches.
Watches. So add an ES to that one. W-A-T-C-H-E-S. All right, the next one is inch.
Inches.
Very good. Inches. Add an ES to that. So far, all of them. In fact, I'm sure pretty much, because they're trying to teach you this rule. So pretty much all of them are going to be ES, aren't they? Brush. Brushes. Add an ES again. Dish.
Dishes.
Very good. C-H-S-H, S-X, or Z. Waltz.
Stay the same.
C-H-S-H, S-X, or Z. Add E-S. That is a Z, isn't it, Adams?
What is waltz?
It's a dance. It's like a fancy dance where they wear the ball gowns and da-da-da-da-dum, dum-dum. Dum, dum. You know that kind? That's a waltz. Have you written waltzes yet? Yay. All right, the next one is crutch. Crutches. And the last one is box.
Boxes.
All right, in the next section on your paper, it says to read the sentences and draw a line between the two parts, and then we will be, this is what we did on the quiz yesterday, but today we are going to underline the subject once and underline the predicate twice. So, about 100 kinds of crickets live in the United States. So, Grace, what is this sentence about?
Hundreds of kinds of crickets.
Crickets. Hundreds of kinds of crickets. So you need to put the line after the word crickets. And then their subject would be about 100 kinds of crickets. And what do those 100 kinds of crickets do? Live in the United States.
We put 2 lines.
Yes, you put 2 lines into the predicate parts. All right? The word cricket sounds somewhat like a cricket's chirp. So what's it about? The word cricket. So draw the line
If you
after
say it
the
really
word cricket.
fast, it does. Cricket, cricket, cricket.
Yeah, okay, but let's stop talking now. You're right, that's why they said that. But draw the line after cricket and underline the word cricket once, because that's your subject. And sounds somewhat like a cricket's chirp twice, because that's your predicate. Crickets eat bits of plants and even some small insects. So what's that sentence about? Crickets. So just draw the line after crickets. Crickets is your subject, so underline it once. And you're looking ahead of me again. And eat bits of plants and even some small insects twice, because that's your predicate. Slow down. Sure, crossing it out instead of underlining it. That's all right, just keep going, but just slow down. All right, lizards and toads think that crickets are delicious.
Lizards and toads.
Very good. That sentence is about lizards and toads. They sort of switched it up on us, didn't they? So put the line after the word toads, and lizards and toads is underline once, because it's the subject. Thank you. Let's go, guys. Answer. And think that crickets are delicious is the predicate. All right, the last one. Some people keep crickets as pets.
Some people.
All right, so this one is about some people. So draw the line after people. Some people is the subject. Underline it once. And keep crickets as pets is the predicate.